For decades, the fashion industry has dazzled the world with color, creativity, and constant change. New trends appeared every season, and clothes became cheaper and more accessible than ever before. Yet, beneath this glamorous surface lay a troubling truth, an enormous environmental and ethical cost. When I first began exploring the world of fashion, I was captivated by its beauty. But the deeper I looked, the more I realized that behind every stylish outfit was a story about people, materials, and impact. That realization began my journey into understanding what sustainable fashion truly means. At first, the concept seemed simple. Sustainable fashion was clothing that was better for the planet. But as I quickly discovered, the truth was far more complex. The term covered everything from eco-friendly fabrics to fair wages, from recycling old clothes to reducing carbon emissions. Sustainability was not just about the clothes we wear, it was about the entire system that creates them. My investigation began in a small factory on the outskirts of the city. Rows of workers were sewing garments at incredible speed, surrounded by piles of fabric scraps. The factory produced clothes for global brands, and every day thousands of shirts and jeans left for international stores. Yet many workers earned barely enough to survive. The factory manager admitted that the pressure to meet global demand forced them to produce more, faster, and cheaper. This was my first glimpse into the hidden cost of fast fashion, a business model built on overproduction and overconsumption. Millions of tons of textiles were being produced each year, and most of them ended up in landfills within months. Synthetic fabrics like polyester, made from petroleum, were releasing microplastics into oceans with every wash. The bright colors of fashion hid a darker reality: pollution, waste, and exploitation. But the story did not end there. A new generation of designers, scientists, and entrepreneurs began to challenge the old system. They believed that fashion could still be beautiful without destroying the planet. This movement gave birth to sustainable fashion, a revolution that aimed to redesign the entire industry from the ground up. One of the first innovations I discovered was organic and regenerative fabrics, instead of relying on synthetic materials. Designers began turning to natural fibers such as organic cotton, bamboo, and hemp, grown without harmful chemicals. Some companies even experimented with lab-grown textiles made from algae or recycled food waste. The goal was to create fabrics that used less water, fewer pesticides, and produced minimal waste. Equally inspiring was the rise of circular fashion, a concept that reimagined clothing as part of an endless cycle. Instead of buying and discarding, consumers could rent, repair, and recycle their garments. Some brands launched take-back programs, allowing customers to return old clothes to be reused or transformed into new fabrics. What was once considered waste became the foundation of creativity. Technology also began to play a crucial role. Artificial intelligence systems analyzed production data to predict demand and reduce overstock. Digital design tools helped brands create virtual samples, saving materials that would otherwise be wasted. Even blockchain technology entered the scene, tracking a garment's journey from cotton field to store shelf, ensuring transparency and ethical sourcing. But sustainable fashion was not only about technology, it was also about values. Many designers began to focus on ethical production, ensuring that workers were paid fairly and treated with respect. I visited small studios where artisans crafted garments by hand, preserving traditional skills and local culture. Each piece carried not only fabric and thread, but also pride, heritage, and human dignity. Still, the biggest challenge remained consumer behavior. Sustainability could not succeed unless people changed how they bought and used clothes. The fast fashion mindset, buying cheap items, wearing them once and throwing them away, had to be replaced with a slower, more mindful approach. I remember standing in front of my closet one day, realizing that half of my clothes had been worn only once or twice. That moment was eye-opening. I decided to follow the buy less, choose well, make it last philosophy. Instead of chasing trends, I began focusing on timeless designs, durable fabrics, and ethical brands. The more I learned, the more I understood that true style was not about quantity, it was about consciousness. Sustainable fashion also led me to explore creative solutions such as upcycling, transforming old garments into new ones. I started altering old jeans, stitching patches, and dyeing faded shirts to give them new life. It was fun, personal, and surprisingly empowering. Clothing became not just something I bought, but something I created. As I continued researching, I realized that sustainable fashion was not just an environmental movement, it was a social one. It connected farmers, factory workers, designers, and consumers in a shared effort to build a better system. Every choice we made, what we bought, what we wore, what we threw away, mattered. Today, more brands are embracing transparency, publishing sustainability reports, and reducing their carbon footprints. Celebrities and influencers are promoting second-hand fashion, making it not only acceptable but desirable. The idea that green is the new black is no longer a slogan, it is becoming a reality. Of course, there is still a long way to go. True sustainability requires constant innovation and global cooperation. It means facing difficult questions about overproduction, affordability, and equality. But for the first time, the fashion industry is listening, learning, and transforming. When I look at my clothes now, I see more than colors and fabrics. I see farmers who grew the cotton, workers who stitched the seams, designers who envisioned new possibilities, and innovators who turned waste into art. Fashion is no longer just about appearance, it is about connection, responsibility, and storytelling. Unraveling the mystery of sustainable fashion taught me one powerful truth. Every piece of clothing carries energy, the energy of the people who made it and the planet that supported it. When we choose sustainability, we are not just choosing better clothes, we are choosing a better future. And that, perhaps, is the most beautiful style of all fashion, that does not only look good, but also does good.